Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this bag here. Let me see if I can get more room here so you can see it a little bit better, but it was in the picture there in the beginning. It's got some feathers on it. You don't have to put them on that, and some beads. Someone donated these beads to me, my friend Grace, and these feathers came off of eBay, so they were relatively cheap too if you want to do that. And these handles were also donated to me too. I think though you can get handles on eBay, Amazon, and also you can get them at your local craft stores like Michael's and Joann's. And you don't have to use store-bought handles. You can make your own handles out of yarn. I think that would look really good too. That's completely up to you, but it's made with the crocodile stitch, and as you can see, it's not a normal crocodile stitch where they are staggered. They actually go straight down. They line up. Now, if in the end your bag, it looks like your crocodile stitches maybe slant just a bit, that's fine. It's normal. They're supposed to do that. So you're not doing anything wrong if you happen to see that. It has, there's the inside of it. It has a plastic canvas at the bottom. So it has a nice strong bottom. So the bottom will not droop when you put stuff in it. So it'll hold quite a bit of stuff. It won't sag down, and it's a relatively large bag. Let me get a tape measure here. It's approximately 16 inches wide, and without the handles it's about get it setting up straight here, 11 inches tall, so something like that. Now this is probably not a beginner tutorial unless you're familiar with the crocodile stitch. You can go ahead and try to follow along. Hopefully I can teach it well enough that a beginner can do it, but otherwise if you're not familiar with the crocodile stitch, you might not be too beginner friendly, but you can go ahead and give it a try if you want. But let's go ahead and get started on it. Okay, for this project, I'm using regular Red Heart Super Saver, which is a medium weight 4-ply 100% acrylic yarn. The colors I'm using is Coffee, Cafe Latte, and Buff. But of course, you can make yours any colors that you want. And there are 364 yards per skein, and I'm using the 3 colors, and 1 skein of each color will be plenty. Then I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook, and you're also going to need a piece of plastic canvas that we're going to put on the bottom of the bag to make it more durable. Now you don't have to put this on the bottom, it's still going to look the same if you don't, but it'll make the bag a lot stronger if you put a piece of this on the bottom. Okay, we're going to start on a base, and you want to start off with a chain of 36. Now I'm going to show you on a smaller scale because I already have my base done. But once you get your chain of 36, and I apologize for the dark yarn, you want to go ahead and single crochet into the second stitch from the hook, and then you want to go ahead and put 1 single crochet in every stitch for the length of your chain. So basically the base is just done in single crochets, so that part's relatively easy. 1 single crochet in every stitch for the length of the chain, and when you get to the end, remember mine's smaller because I already have my base done, so I'm just showing you on a smaller scale. You should have 35 stitches, and then once you count and you have your 35 stitches. For row 2, you want to chain 1 and turn. And you want to single crochet right back into that very first stitch, like that. And then you just want to work 1 single crochet in every stitch across again. Just like that. And when you get to the end, you'll still have your 35 stitches. And for row 3, again, we chain 1 and turn, and we just repeat row 2. So we single crochet into that very first stitch, and then we work 1 single crochet in every stitch across. So we're just going to keep repeating that, rows of single crochet. You should have 35 stitches at the end of every row, and you want to do that for a total of 12 rows for your base. 12 rows, 35 stitches at the end of every row. Okay, once you get your 12 rows done, don't tie off. What we're going to do is go around the whole piece with single crochet. So I got my 12th row finished. So what I'm going to do is chain 1 now. And now I'm going to work all the way down the side here, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch. So start right here in this first little stitch that actually this stitch went into. So go right into that and single crochet. And you should be able to tell pretty good where the single crochets need to go. They're kind of at the end of each row. You'll be able to see that little hole there. So just put 1 single crochet all the way down to the end of the row. Okay, now when you make it to the end here, this corner, it's actually the start of this row here. We're going to put 3 single crochets into that corner here, all into the same stitch. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and that'll make the corner a little bit rounder. That way it lays a little bit flatter. Now we're going to continue working 1 single crochet. You should be able to see where these single crochets go pretty easy in every stitch across here, the long side of the base, until we get to the next corner. Okay, I did my 1 single crochet across the long part here, and I made it right here to the last stitch. And you want to go ahead and put 3 single crochets into that corner stitch. Like that. And then we'll continue working down this other short side, putting 1 single crochet kind of at the end of every row here. So you get up here to your next corner. And then the next corner is right here. It's actually the first stitch up here on this top row. Go ahead and put 3 single crochets into that corner. That, and now continue working 1 single crochet across this long top part here until we get back to where we started. So it's just 1 single in every stitch again. Okay, when you made it all the way across and you made it back to the beginning, when you have 1 stitch left here, go ahead and put 3 single crochets into that last stitch. That'll be the last corner. And now we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch here that we did. Not the chain 1, but the first single crochet. So we'll go ahead and slip stitch into that, and you should have 100 stitches now all the way around. And you can clip that yarn off, and you need to have 100. And now what you want to do is you want to make 2 base pieces exactly the same. 100 pieces, or 100 stitches, I'm sorry. 100 stitches in each of the 2 pieces. And then what we'll do is we'll sew them together. So you want to take your plastic canvas and cut it to fit. So I just laid mine, kind of had to be exactly like mine, but like this. So you can see there's about 1 row of single crochet, or 1 row of single crochet on the top, left over on the bottom, and then on each side. So you don't have to be exactly like mine, but something close like that. So to sew them together, I'm going to single crochet them together. So take this piece that's, you want the last row of single crochet that you did is going to be the right side of your work. So put one facing down, and then the other one with the right side facing up, like that. And we'll start single crocheting it together. We'll insert our plastic piece later towards when we get to the end. But we're going to crochet them together. Let me cut off this tail so it's not bothering anybody there. Now you can start anywhere you want. I'm just going to kind of start in a corner. You want to crochet it from the outside like this. Like this. You don't want to work like from the inside like that. Make sure you turn your piece around and you start where your work's facing you. So when you work, the right side of your stitches will be facing out. So you can start anywhere you want. I'll probably just start somewhere in a corner. So I'll just, how we put 3 stitches in the corner, I'll grab the middle one on this piece. And then the middle one on this piece. And I'll start my yarn. Go through both pieces. Chain 1. And go right back into the same 2 stitches. And single crochet. Sorry about the dark yarn. I'm going to go into the next stitch on this piece, and then the next stitch on the back piece, and single crochet. And I'm just going to do that all the way around. So I'm going to go into the next stitch on this piece, and then the next stitch on the back piece, and single crochet. Again, the next stitch on this piece, the next stitch on the back piece, and single crochet. So I'm just going to single crochet these 2 pieces together all the way around until I get over here, and then I'll meet you over here, and then we'll put our plastic canvas in there. So just go ahead and keep single crocheting these 2 pieces together. Make sure you're looking and you're getting the right piece. There we go. I had a hard time seeing with this dark yarn. I guess I should have used a different color. I apologize for that. Just like that. And then, so go ahead and finish it all the way until you get over here. Okay, I've sewed it all the way together. I left this side open here. So now I'm just going to slip my pre-cut piece of plastic in there. Like that. And now I'm going to finish just single crocheting it together, just like we did. Okay, Now when you make it to the end, you still should have 100 stitches. Now if you don't have 100 stitches right now, you need to have it. And it doesn't matter, say you came up and you only have 99, it's okay, put 2 into the last stitch. It's not going to make a big deal. Okay, once you get your 100 stitches done, we're going to slip stitch into our first single crochet, but we're going to slip stitch into the back loop only. If you look, you can see that there is a front loop of the stitch. This loop that's closest to you is the front loop, and the loop that's further away is the back loop. So we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the back loop there of the first single crochet, just like that. You got your 100 stitches now. Now we're going to start by chaining 3, and that's going to count as a double crochet. And now we're going to put 1 double crochet in the back loop only of every stitch all the way around. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go in the back loop only of the next stitch and double crochet. And I'm going to do this all the way around. Back loop only, double crochet, back loop only, and I'm going to do this until I get back to the beginning. One double crochet, back loop only of every stitch until you get back here to the beginning. Okay, I've made it all the way around with my row of double crochet, and I still should have 100 stitches, 100 double crochets, including this chain 3. So I'm going to end by slip stitching into the beginning chain 3. And now what I'm going to do is work a crocodile stitch in these next 2 stitches. So don't worry if your piece isn't, if it's still flat and it's not folding up. It will. The more rows you get, the more it'll start to fold. So what we're going to do is work 5 double crochets down the post of the next stitch. So I'm going to yarn over and go right around the post of it and double crochet, and I want to do that 5 times. So that was 1 around the same post again, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and now I'm going to chain 1. And then I kind of turn my work around, and I'm going to do 5 double crochets up the next post. So you go to the next stitch, and we're working the post of it. Go ahead and yarn over and go around the post of the next stitch and work 5 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. Now I'm going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work my crocodile stitch again in these 2 stitches. So I'm going to work 5 double crochets down the posts of this one. So skip 3, 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and yarn over, and into the next one we'll work our 5 double crochets down that post. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1. And then the next post here, we work 5 double crochets up it. So just yarn over and into the next, around the next post, we work 5 double crochets. So So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, again, we're going to skip, as you can see, we got 2 crocodile stitches made. So again, we're going to skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And in the next 2, we're going to work our 5 double crochets down this one, and then 5 double crochets up this one. So we're going to go ahead and yarn over, skip your 3, and go around the post of the next one, and work 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, and then we work our 5 double crochets up the post of the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're just going to keep repeating that all the way around, and that's going to form our crocodile stitches. So again, we will skip the next 3 stitches, so skip, 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 and do our crocodile stitch, 5 double crochet down this post, chain 1, 5 double crochet up this post. So I skip my 3, I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 doubles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And go to your next stitch. I always turn my work around to go to the next one like that. It's just easier for me to get to it. But you do it however it's easiest for you. And then 5 double crochets up this post. So make sure you chain 1 after that last double crochet. I don't think I did that. There we go. And then 5 double crochets up this post. So I'm just going to keep repeating this until I get back around to the beginning. That. Skip 3, skip, 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 5 double crochets down, chain 1, and 5 double crochets up. Skip 3, 5 double crochets down this post, chain 1, and 5 double crochets up this post, and then skip 3 and repeat all the way around until you get back to the beginning. Okay, when you make it back around, you should have a total of 20 crocodile stitches, and you should have 3 stitches left to skip. So go ahead and skip them, and then end with a slip stitch into that first chain 1 that we did. That's the first stitch. So go ahead and slip stitch into that chain 1. Now we're going to do a row of double crochet again, because before you do the crocodile stitches, you always have to have a row of double crochet to attach them to. So we're going to start by chaining 3, which is going to count as our first double crochet. And now we're going to work a double crochet in every stitch all the way around. So you just kind of got to look for your stitches. Your next stitch is going to be the stitch that these double crochet went down. So it's kind of like right here in the top. And then your next stitch is going to be the stitch that these went down, and it's actually kind of right here. So what I always do for that one is I just go double crochet directly through the center of the crocodile stitch for that double crochet. And then the next stitches are going to be these 3 that we skipped. And if you push your crocodile stitches down, you'll be able to find them really easy. So 1 double crochet in the top of the 3 that we skipped. That. And then the next one is going to be right here. It's the stitch that these double crochets went down. So you can see it right here. Go in double crochet in that. And then the next one is going to be the stitch that these double crochet went down. It's actually right there. And that's the one I just go directly through the center of the crocodile stitch, and then I double crochet. And then the next ones will be the 3 that you skipped. So you can see them right back here. I always push my crocodile stitches down. That way I can find them. So there's 1 of them that I skipped. 2 of them that I skipped. And then the 3 that I skipped. And then we just keep repeating that. So the next one is right there where these double crochet went down. And then the next one will be right through the center of the crocodile stitch. And then the 3 that we skipped. So move your stitches down to find them if you're having trouble finding them. And that's what we're going to do, is 1 double crochet in every stitch around back to the beginning. And when you get back to the beginning, you still should have, you'll have 100 double crochets still. Okay, I'm coming back around to the beginning, and I did my last stitch through here, and you'll have 2 stitches that remain on the back here. Go ahead and put 1 double crochet in each of those 2. And then we'll end with the slip stitch into our beginning chain 3, and you should have a total of 100 stitches now. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this crocodile stitch row. Now normally you would see a crocodile stitch, I would say a catty corner, you know, like one would be here and the next one would be here. Mine's not going to be like that this time. They're all going to be lined up. So I'm going to chain 1 for that first stitch there, and I'm going to jump over here and work in these 2 stitches, putting my crocodile stitch. So I'm going to go yarn over and put 5 double crochet down this post, and I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to work 5 double crochet up the next post. And then I'm going to skip 3 stitches, skip, 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 and in these 2 right here, 5 double crochets down this one. So it's the same as we did on the last crocodile stitch row. Chain 1, 5 double crochets up the next post of the next stitch. Just like that. Skip 3 and crocodile stitch again in these 2 stitches, and if you look, your crocodile stitches are lined up and not catty cornered like you would normally see them. I didn't want to do the catty cornered for this particular pattern, so they're going to be lined up now for this one. So I'm just going to continue repeating this crocodile stitch row for this round. And when you get back around, you know, you'll have your 20 crocodile stitches. And then what you'll need to do is do another row of double crochet and then another row of crocodile stitches, and then another row of double crochet, and another row of crocodile stitches. So all we're doing now is repeating the double crochet row and the crocodile stitch row back and forth. Every time after you do a crocodile stitch, you have to do another double crochet row to attach the crocodile stitch to. So that's kind of all the bag is now. It's just a double crochet row, crocodile stitch row. You should always have 100 stitches after you get done with your double crochet row. And you should always have 20 crocodile stitches when you get done with that. So I'm just going to keep repeating the crocodile stitch row, and then I'll do a double crochet row. And I'll do a crocodile stitch row, and then I'll do a double crochet row. Now you could switch colors. If you want, you can make it one solid color. I'm going to use 3 different colors. If you do switch colors, you want to switch colors when you're doing the double crochet row. So if I was to switch colors, I would finish this crocodile stitch row out, then I would switch colors and do my double crochet row into the next color, and then continue with that color doing the crocodile stitch row. So, but you can make it any color that you want. So this is basically all it is. This is a repeat of the crocodile stitch row and the double crochet. And remember, your crocodile stitches will be lined up like this. They're not going to be catty cornered like you would normally see them. So looking like this is not wrong. That's how I'm making the bag to be. Okay, once you got your 12 rows of crocodile stitches done, and I just ended my last row by slip stitching there into that beginning chain 1. Now I'm not going to do a row of double crochet now. What I'm going to do is some single crochet decreases. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go right back into that very first stitch and single crochet, or into that very first chain 1, which right here, and single crochet. Now what I want to do is I want to do 3 single crochets in a row and then a single crochet decrease. So that counts as number 1. So I'm going to go to the next one. There's 2, and then right through the center is 3. And now I'm going to do a single crochet decrease over the next 2. Got to pull your stitches down there to find them. So what we do is go into the next stitch and drop a loop, then into the next one, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. So that took 2 stitches and made it into 1. So again, I'm going to do a single crochet into the next 3. So there's 1, 2, right through the center, 3, and then decrease over the next 2. So go into the next one and drop a loop, and then the next one and drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops on your hook. Again, you want a single crochet in the next 3. So there's 1, 2, right through the center will be 3, and then we're going to decrease over the next 2. So go in, drop a loop, go into the next one, drop a loop, and yarn over and go through all 3. So that's the repeat we're going to do all the way around until we get back to the beginning. 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then a single crochet decrease over the next 2 until you get back over here to your starting point. Okay, once you make it back to the beginning, you should have ended in a single crochet decrease, and you should have a total of 80 stitches now. So what I'm going to do is use a stitch marker now, and I'm going to put it right here where I end. That way I can keep my spot and I know where I end and where I begin. So what I'm going to do is jump over here to the first single crochet we made. Not the first chain 1, but the first single crochet, and I'm going to single crochet into it. And then I'm going to work around, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch until I get back to my marker. So this round is just 1 single in every stitch. And when you get back to your marker, you should have 80 stitches still. Okay, I made it back to my stitch marker after that row of single crochet. So I'm going, and you have your 80 stitches, so I'm going to go ahead and move it up, and I'm going to do another row of decreases. So this time I'm going to put 2 single crochets in a row, and then I'll do a single crochet decrease. So I'm just going to go to my first single crochet. So there's 1 single crochet, and then 1 in the next stitch. So that's 2 single crochets in a row. And now I'm going to put a single crochet decrease over the next 2. So go in, drop a loop, go into the next one, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops. Again, 2 single crochets in a row. There's 1, 2, and then a single crochet decrease. Go into the next stitch, drop a loop, and the next one, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. Again, 1, 2, and then a decrease. And you want to repeat this pattern all the way around until you get back to your stitch marker. Okay, I've made it back after that row of decreases, and now you should have 60 stitches. So I'm going to move my stitch marker up again. And now I'm going to work, and I'm going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch. So I'm just going to single crochet into that first stitch, and 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So no more decreasing now. 1 single crochet in every stitch until you get back to your marker. When you make it back to your marker, you should have 60 stitches still. Just like that. Okay, once you make it all the way around back to your stitch marker, you have your 60 stitches still. Just go ahead and slip stitch into the next stitch, and then you can tie that off and pull your stitch marker out. Now if you want to move or make this part taller, you can just keep doing as many rows of single crochet as you want. But now for the handles, now remember, you can make your own handles if you want, or you can purchase handles. Okay, for the handles, if you have store bought ones, you know, I just kind of eyeball it. Like, I get it kind of centered in the back here, lay it out straight, and I always just kind of eyeball and center it, like kind of like that, you know. Get it centered to where it's equal on both sides. Now you can count if you want to get it exact, but I never do that. I always just kind of eyeball it like that. And of course, if you don't have these handles, you can make your own. That's up to you. You can make 1 long one, 2 short ones, 1 short one, however you want to do it. It's your bag. Or you can buy handles, any type of handle that you want. A nice leather handle would look pretty on here too. But like I said, I just kind of eyeball it to wherever it looks centered. If you're just going to put 1 long one, I would put it at the end here. And then I just sew it on with my yarn needle and a piece of yarn to the ring. So it's really pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and get my handles sewed on real quick. Usually sew them on like 1 row down. Let me turn it around here. It's hard with that piece of plastic there to kind of show you how to do it, because that plastic at the bottom don't bend. I just take it and take my yarn needle. I usually go 1 row down, and then just sew it on like this. I'm kind of at a bad angle, so it's hard to hold it here and show you. But this is all I do. And I'll do this to both sides of the handle and into both handles the exact same way, and just get them as centered the best that you can. So just like that. I'll do that all the way across, and then I'll do the same on the other handle. Okay, once you get your handle sewed on, I just took some beads that I had laying around and some feathers that I got these feathers off eBay, and I just strung them up on a piece of yarn and sewed them onto the top. That's nothing that you have to do. I just added a little bit of embellishment to my bag, but that's it. That's all there is to it. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss another tutorial, and don't forget to check out all my other tutorials too. I have hundreds of them. I hope you were able to follow along okay with this video, and if you make this or anything else, I'd really like to see a picture of it. You can post a picture on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page, and don't forget to check out bagodaycrochet.com. And until next time, have a good day.